Let's read this post real quick. Appearance of wider shoulders. Let's play with an idea that one would train with one goal only, to appear to have wider shoulders. For that purpose, which exercises would you focus on and which ones would you neglect or leave out completely? My understanding is that the most important exercise for that purpose would be lateral raises. At the same time, I'd probably not be doing too many shoulder presses or other exercises that make my traps grow, as I believe the shoulders appear wider if they are more T-shaped / straight, as opposed to having protruding traps which make shoulders seem more narrow visually. He would not be building a wider chest to make the shoulders appear wider compared to the chest relatively, maintaining as low body fat as possible to provide visual contrast between the shoulders and slim hips. Would you agree with this approach, or would you add in any exercise? I don't agree with this approach, and I'll tell you why. Number one, not doing shoulder presses is your first issue. Shoulder presses are going to be your main builder when it comes to shoulders. It's just like a bench press movement or a chest press would be to building your chest. And it's just like a leg press or a squat would be to building your legs, right? This is more of a rounded approach to building the muscle. And when you focus just on lateral raises, yes, you are helping the width and the medial delt and the side delt, but you're leaving out the opportunity to put a really heavy load onto your shoulders and really force growth in your shoulders, right? So those compound movements like a shoulder press are very, very, very important for the overall growth of your shoulders. What I personally love to do is a standing barbell military press, just like this. Not only is it amazing to build bowling ball shoulders, but it also develops your upper chest as well, which is something that we all want. So never neglect your compound movement when it comes to shoulders. That is your first mistake and probably your biggest mistake here. Not building a wide chest to make the shoulders appear wider compared to the chest. This is a big mistake as well. Your chest, you want it to be wide and protruding because it's going to help that overall V-taper look at the end of the day. And having a small chest and big shoulders is not really an aesthetic look. A lot of people get confused and get a little bit too hyper focused on one muscle when building their body. They think they want big shoulders, which of course they do, but there's a lot more to the story than just big shoulders. And there's a lot more that goes into creating that appearance, right? What comes into creating that appearance is also a wider upper back, right? That V-taper look is created through, yes, wide shoulders, but also through a wide upper back. And your chest is going to also give more width and more volume to that area. It's also all about proportions, right? You don't want to have capped shoulders with a tiny back or capped shoulders with a small chest. It throws off the balance and it's not aesthetically pleasing at all. So you need to zoom out a little bit and understand which muscles give you that V-taper and which muscles accentuate the look of your shoulders, right? Because it's not just the shoulder that's doing the job. It's all one big image that you have to look at. Maintaining as low body fat as possible to provide visual contrast between shoulders and hips. Yes, this would help a little bit, but at the same time, if you're trying to maintain low body fat, you're not going to really have the maximum opportunity to build as much muscle as possible. You're essentially just going to be sucking out all the fat that you have, trying to force the V-taper look, rather than actually trying to build onto it and then chiseling down after. So focus first on building the muscles that accentuate the upper portion of your upper body. And when it comes to hips and your waist, a lot of that is largely genetic. There's people with blockier waists, there's people with skinnier waists genetically who are just blessed in that way. But you have to play the cards that you were dealt. So if you're somebody with a bigger waist, then you have to focus on a bigger upper back, wider shoulders, bigger chest to fully bring out that V-taper look. So which exercises would I recommend that he adds in? Wide grip, lat pull down or pull-ups are really good to bring out the width in your back. Of course, side laterals like you're already doing, very, very good to build that side delt. Shoulder press, you need to add that in because like I said, that's your opportunity to put a lot of weight on the muscle and really force growth. So you could do dumbbells, you could do machine, you could do barbell, standing or sitting, whatever you prefer. But yeah, that compound movement is very, very important, so don't disregard that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully that made sense. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer. But for now, guys, we'll see you in the next one.